What's up everyone, it's Karthik with Moneyvest. Welcome on board for our market open live stream. Again, I was traveling all day, so I wasn't able to go live earlier during market open, during pre-market, but I'm now home and we can do the live stream, and the timing could not have been better because we are seeing a brutal sell-off right now as S&P 500 is down over 2%. At the moment, we've got QQQs down over 2% as well, so both the S&P and the NASDAQ are both down over 2% right now. Volatility is indeed higher, over 23%. It's getting up to over 26.5. So we are indeed moving up rapidly here on volatility, as crude oil prices also hit $77 a barrel. So a level that we haven't seen since June of last year. So it's been well over 7 months, 8 months since we've seen crude oil prices sitting as high as they are. Ethereum and Bitcoin are dropping again. So Bitcoin trading under $67,000 and Ethereum is also a little bit under $2,000 right now. And volatility is on the move as individual stocks across the board are indeed selling off. So if you come take a look at this market right now, this is where we are with most stocks. Robinhood's down over 6%. We got BMNR down over 5.5. We got HIMS down over 5.4. You got Grab, ASML, Oscar, AMD, SMH, Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla, Oracle, Google, SoFi, Microsoft, Broadcom, everything. Amazon down anywhere from 2 to as much as 6, 7, 8% here so far on the day. So there's more and more deals indeed coming in. So perfect. Audio and video is good. Again, just give me a thumbs up if the audio and the video is good, and we should be all set. And let's do this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Finally, you made it to India. Yep. So good to be back. And overall, like I said, I think the UAE government and authorities did an amazing job kind of keeping everybody safe and sound, doing a lot of interceptions, over 98, 99%. I was already scheduled to fly back on Saturday before any of this started. As you guys already know, that I was literally on the runway, ready to take off, go to Kolkata, meet with my family, because I missed, I was going to be there for my nephew. And then that flight, as literally I was on the runway doing taxi, the news came out. I recorded a video right from the plane that we had to sit in the plane for 2 hours. Then, of course, disembarking, going back to the airport, waiting another 2 hours. And then eventually all the flights got canceled. So when they did started opening up the airspace yesterday, they were rebooking all the people who had originally canceled their flights because of this event. And as a result, I was able to rebook a flight to now Mumbai. So then going to Mumbai and then taking a flight, another flight from Mumbai to Delhi. And then all my family is coming in tomorrow so I can meet with them once and for all. So no, I'm not Bengali. I am Hindu. Like, I am here from North India. So from Delhi, Noida. But my sister-in-law, she's from Kolkata. She's Bengali. So yeah, I do go to Kolkata quite a bit. So, but yeah, either way, I was supposed to be in Kolkata on Monday, but was not able to make it in time. And so we had to reschedule all of that. And they will be here tomorrow. You ever thought about moving to the United States? Not right now. Maybe in the future, maybe. But not at the moment. But let's talk about the markets and see what's going on here. And overall, we're seeing a pretty substantial sell-off. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go live right now. As soon as I came home is because the markets have just been pulling back here again as the S&P 500 is starting to finally break down. So this is a very, very important breakdown. That's, again, like I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to go live is because we've been consolidating in that range for a really long time, and we are at the same level as we were going back as far as December 2025. So if this level right here is 67.20, if this level does not hold up, and on the day today, 67.23 has been a very strong support. So if you do see a breakdown below this, the next target is going to be down to 65.50 on the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ also is starting to break down from this downtrending channel, right? So we're starting to come back down near this area of support at 22,190. So 22,199 is the low for the day. If you do break down, next target is going to be closer to 21,790. So inside this green rectangle in this area of support is going to be that next level for us to watch. But volatility is on the move. Coming over to the Moneyvest platform, If you come over to the VIX dashboard, we are indeed higher, trading up to over 26.7. We are in the 86th percentile. This is a very, very important number because even though we are still pretty normal right now, the moment this crosses over 90th percentile, I think things will start to get pretty serious pretty fast. And again, you can kind of look at the tabular version, and the 90th percentile is going to be hit if it crosses over 28.58. We are going to be in the 90th percentile, and anything higher, anything more than that is even better from the market's perspective, from our perspective, because we're looking for discounts and deals. This right here is a bell curve, which essentially shows you, how often the volatility is trading at these levels. And what you'll notice is most of the times volatility spends between 10 and 25, right? That is majority of the time volatility has spent between those two levels. Right now, we're right over here. We're 25 to 30. Now, what is that essentially telling us? That's telling us that the higher the volatility goes, the more rare this event becomes because we go further out on the x-axis. And again, anything over 30, anything over 35, anything over 40, that becomes even more rare of an event. Hence, taking advantage of those opportunities. That is where this analysis, that is where this data-driven analysis comes in. You can take a look at the tabular version of this as well. But yeah, right now, volatility on the move. Keep a close eye on this. Right now, we just hit over 27.6, getting up over 28%, almost 29% higher on the day, as the market taking a further dump of 2.5% on the NASDAQ. S&P is down over 2.3%. Now, who wants to guess? Who wants to take a guess how much the S&P 500 is down as a whole in terms of market cap? Market cap, how much of that liquidation we've seen? 500 billion, 300 billion, 800 billion, a trillion, more than a trillion. What do you think we've seen the market sell off to be today? What is that number? Let's see what that big Powerball number is going to look like. I'm going to wait for everyone to take a guess first, and then we are going to take a look at the Moneyvest platform. And let's see. Hi, Caddy. Nice to see you live and safe. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Dewey, Vol says we not so back. I know, right? We're not back yet. Okay, so we got 350 billion in the house. 350. I think it's going to be higher. It's going to be much higher than that. What is going to be the best guess for how much we're down collectively on the S&P 500 in terms of market cap? What do you think it's going to be? And as we're talking, as we are live, we're seeing this sell-off further. We're down over 2.3% now as the S&P 500 is trading down to 670 bucks. So further selling pressure coming in. So what is that number? What are you guys thinking for that number to be? Okay, we got 800 billion, we got 425 billion, we got 2 trillion in the house, we got 1 trillion in the house, 1.5 trillion. I find comfort seeing that purple closet. Crazy, right? I mean, absolutely crazy, Dave, but I get it. I know. I feel a little bit better as well. So coming back to the Moneyvest platform, and that number, that Powerball number is 1.1. Let's take a look. We are 1.5 trillion dollar sell-off here. So this is the entire sell-off that we're witnessing of that entire liquidation. And surprisingly so, the Magnificent Seven are not the major contributors. We are not seeing the Mag 7 down as much. I mean, they're down 2%, about 400 billion. But most of that selling pressure, of course, technology is still up there. Consumer cyclical is up there, but financial services, industrials, I mean, these are down over 164 billion. And then we've got utilities down over 57 billion. And then energy is down over 31 billion. Healthcare is down about 125 billion. So all sectors, all 11 sectors are red right now as this sell-off gets worse. 1.5 trillion, Sandeep got it right on the money. 1.5 trillion is what we're seeing. Liquidity kind of flood out of this market. And volatility is up 29% now, almost 30%, now 30%. Man, this market is moving from the moment I've gone live. A high for the day was 2801, and that will probably put us at just over 89 percentile. 88, 89 percentile is where we're going to be for this market. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all 11 sectors. My entire watch list is red right now. I mean, this is all sectors, everything. Platinum, nothing's moving. TLT is also down. The bond market is down as well. Oh my God. Everything is down today. Everything. The heat map. Let's take a quick look at the heat map. And this is what that snapshot is looking like. Can we find any ray of hope here? Can we find at least something that is going to be green? So we got a little bit of telecommunications. So T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, Costco. Costco is that ray of hope. And we've got Palo Alto Networks and a little bit of hope in Adobe right now that people are hiding out in. Then we've got some energy companies that are pushing up, but barely flat to slightly green. But just take a look at this. This is what a full-blown, market-blown bloodbath actually looks like. And not just that. I mean, it's not just stocks. It is other sectors as well. As I mentioned earlier, gold down 5%. Silver down over 9.5%. Platinum. And then you got TLT down over 26 basis points as US 10-year treasuries are pushing up. We got Ethereum down 4.6% for ETHE. Ethereum right now is down a little bit over, let's come over to this, down over 4%. Bitcoin down 3%. Wow. Not everything. The dollar is surging like crazy. So yes, the DXY is pushing higher, so up over 1%. That is perhaps one asset class, which is the dollar. But again, inflation is higher. So can you really argue that it's actually up? But yes, on the day it is pushing higher. True. So dollar is the only thing that's up almost 1%. This won't last long. Close those covered calls while they're up significantly. Yes, that is the plan. That is what I am actually planning to do here, is to close those covered calls. So Samsung down 15%. Keep an eye open to this one, guys. Vol says, yep, so we've added that to the watch list as well. Deals are almost here. Dry powder, anyone? So yes, I mean, we're going to be ready. And again, we're watching the Moneyvest index, which let's take a look at where we're at for the Moneyvest index today, given the bloodbath here. So for S&P 500, we're very much back down to neutral and very close to uncertainty. Now, who says NASDAQ is already in uncertainty? Who here? I haven't looked at it. This is my first time opening up the Moneyvest platform today because, like I said, I just landed. But who thinks NASDAQ 100 is already at uncertainty? Without going to your Moneyvest platform, who think NASDAQ is already at uncertainty? The lowest level we've seen so far in 2026, 2.98. That's the lowest reading for the NASDAQ 100 Moneyvest index, what we've seen so far. But who here thinks that we're already at uncertainty? Again, without looking. Cyron says 3.01. That's very precise. If that's the correct answer, you probably looked. And we are at, let's see, I think it's going to be an uncertainty. I think it's going to be below 3 as soon as this page loads up. 2.93. Now we've officially hit the lowest reading for 2026. The NASDAQ 100 has not been this uncertain in 2026 so far. The lowest reading, as I said, was back in February, the first week of February, 2.98. That was the lowest reading prior to the January 20th reading of 3.08. So from 3.08, we came down to 2.98. Then we were back over 3, flirted around low 3s. And then this is the first time we're seeing 2.93, which is the lowest reading of 2026 so far. Can it go lower? Absolutely. It can absolutely go lower. And it already is, right? So, I mean, Tesla's down 4%. NVIDIA is down over 2.5%. And NASDAQ here, 2.7%, almost 3% down. So, let's get ready, folks. I mean, this is the time that we've been waiting for. 30% higher on volatility, 31% now, 28 is where we're sitting for the VIX. So as soon as that number gets updated, again, this is a little bit of a delayed quote on the volatility, but as soon as it gets updated, we're going to find out exactly what percentile we're going to be sitting at. But yeah, things are getting juicy. They are getting quite interesting here from the market as NASDAQ and the S&P 500, they both get absolutely destroyed right now, not to mention all the other asset classes as well. So I think it's going to be a bit of a structural change in the market because, for one, this is a big technical breakdown. It takes time for the markets to actually find direction. And I really don't want people to take this lightly because, this is not like that buy the dip, intraday reversal kind of situations, because if you were still within the structure, if you were still well within this range, I would have argued, okay, there's still some hope, there's still some expectation. The buyers might step in and we might be pushing higher later this week. But this is indeed a structural breakdown. This is not, we're no longer trading inside this range. I mean, we just broke down from 6,800 down to low 6,700, possibly even printing a lowest level since November of last year. So, we've been in this range since November, trading sideways, consolidating. And then today is what we're seeing, that breakdown finally come to fruition, and market giving us a clear direction where it wants to go. Because over the last 4 months or so, as I mentioned before, this has been a kangaroo market, lack of decisions, lack of direction, and we've mostly been trading sideways. But today's one of those first days that we're seeing the market actually decide it wants to go down, decide the direction, and that direction is, of course, down. Same thing with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was already in a little bit of a downtrend, so it was already making this lower high and lower low pattern here. And all we're really seeing is a little bit of a breakdown further inside this downtrend, and the next support is going to be down to 21,790 for the NASDAQ. So I think the shopping list could not have come at a better time. All those shopping list fair values and buy targets got updated yesterday. So I think a lot of them are going to be trading very close to the fair values. So what we also have included for is the delta. So delta essentially allows you to calculate, where those stocks are trading, market prices relative to the fair values. So if I were to simply look at the delta for a lot of these companies, some of them are coming to as close to 2%, 3% away from the fair values. So you've got 2.3% away, 3.6% away, 4.6% away, 9% away, 10% away, 10.8% away, 12% away. So they're very, very close. They're coming down to some pretty close levels, 16% away from the fair value, 17.4% away, 26% away from fair values. And light buys are probably already getting hit on so many of these companies. And that's really what we're excited for, is deals. I mean, discounts coming our way. That's the beautiful part about this entire sell-off. So, all right, let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I'm going to maybe be live for like another 20 minutes before I just go take a shower, go get some dinner, and then literally just relax, because it's been quite crazy 48, 72 hours. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. More than happy to help, more than happy to answer. How much percentage of your portfolio is in cash? I would say like right now it's in the low teens. Like I'll have to calculate what it is, but I'm going to say like a rough estimate, it's going to be like 12, 13, maybe 14% around that number, is where I would be sitting at. So the plan would be to, again, buy dollar cost average with that capital, but doing it in stages and also pacing myself, because all we really have to analyze is risk and reward. Like that's what we do. The moment the risk for waiting is greater than risk of buying is when I start to deploy capital, and that in most circumstances aligned with the Moneyvest index coming down to under 2.5, closer to low twos, and the volatility also trading well over 35, 40, getting up to over 90th percentile, 95th percentile, 97, 98th percentile. So Marcus, take profits today. So it depends, what is it that your strategy is? If you're trading, if you are, let's say, trading a stock, if you're swing trading, if you're options trading, then yes, I mean, profit taking should be part of your strategy. You should already be looking at taking profits along the way. But if you are investing for the long term, this is not an environment to be selling stock, right? This is an environment to be looking at buying stock, right? You don't panic sell and panic buy constantly, right? When stocks are selling off, that's actually a good thing for long-term investors, because we're able to pick up high-quality names at even better prices and build our positions, build our portfolios for the long term. So if you are trading, Profit taking should already be part of your strategy. When I'm selling options, I'm already looking at taking profits at over 90%, 95%. When I'm swing trading, again, if your target's achieved, you want to take profit. And then from a risk management standpoint, if your stop losses get hit, you want to be out of those positions. But if you're investing for the long term, I mean, these are environments, these are circumstances which you should really very much like that stocks are coming down. Okay, I spent all my money in the last 6 dips. Can I borrow some? Absolutely. 20% is going to be the interest rate, Dave. That's payable annually. If you're okay with that interest rate, then I'm happy. Borrow as much as you want. Are you buying and what today? So Stefan, again, I'll send out all the alerts. You're part of the Discord. I will send out anything that I am planning to pick up. I am planning to pick up Palantir, by the way. So I want to round up my position. We'll pick up another 25 shares probably. Then Broadcom. I want to pick up more Broadcom as well. And then just a lot of these companies. I mean, 2026 stocks combined with my shopping list. That's where all of my buying activity is going to be contained in. Like that's what I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into. Iron has been selling off as well, so down over 7.8%. So selling off back down to low 37s, 38. So that's where we are. And then let's take a look at my crypto. BITX still down over 5%. BMNR down a little bit over 5.9, almost 6%. Hims and Hers down over 6% as well, back in the mid 15s. Perfect. Makes sense. Great. Let's see. So QQQ is down 2.5%. VIX is quite high. Should I sell in at and take profits? What is left there? And then wait for deals. Do you think, considering current situation, there will be better deals? So yeah, I think, it's a great question because, not only are we evaluating what to buy, we also need to evaluate opportunity cost because everyone's working with limited capital, right? It's not like we have a money tree somewhere with infinite capital that we can deploy in every opportunity. We also have to analyze opportunity cost. If you already have a stock that you're already up on and your conviction's kind of low, or you don't see much more profitability in that stock, then yes, every investor needs to do that analysis as well. And in your case, if you feel like there's not much left in ANET, you want to take profit and then reinvest it into something else that might give you a better runway, better opportunity, then yes, by all means, do what's best for your portfolio because that is what really matters. At the end of the day, like every investor has to do what is right for them. Arista Network, though, is part of the shopping list. I have buy targets. I have fair value on it. It's not like I don't believe in it. I think there's a lot of companies that are selling off, consolidating, and pulling back that long-term I think will be big winners. So Arista Network, yes, it's coming down 4.6. As I said, it is part of the shopping list. Dave, don't listen to Carl. I think I'm making 19%. Fine, I'll do 18% for you, Dave. Just a friends and family discount. I'll lend you my money at 18%. And given your skill set, I'm pretty confident that you're going to be able to beat the market, generate more than 18%, and you'll be fine. So I'll do that. 18. Final offer. Take it or leave it. QQQ has potential to go as low as 581. Let's take a quick look at the NASDAQ 100 here. So 581 is going to put us right there. So that is going to be that support level. Yeah, so that is pretty much the next target. 583, 582. If it continues to pull back, that indeed would be that support level to watch. You guys are sharks. Florida boys stick together 12.5. Oh my God, man. Come on, Mike. Come on. Don't bring the floor down to 12.5. I mean, we don't want to have a pricing war bringing prices down. Fine, Dave, 12%. Final offer. Take it or leave it. That's it. 12% is also my discount rate that I use for a lot of the stock analysis. So I'm already, whatever fair values I put down, I'm already looking at making 12% per year if I buy at those fair values. So Florida boys. SoFi, when is to buy? Again, it's part of the shopping list. Put down the fair values and the buy targets over there. And SoFi also is trading at a very strong support down here at $17 to $18 per share. So this right here is the level to watch inside this green rectangle for SoFi. Resistance all the way up to $20, $21 for SoFi. You end up paying Dave to take your money. Don't take 12, he'll go lower. No, 12 is my floor. Absolute floor if I'm lending anyone. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Dave's crushing it. Everybody's been killing it in the market, like especially with covered calls and like options. I think it's been great, and they're always going to be printing in an environment like this, right? When stocks are selling off like so aggressively, they are certainly going to be printing, and that's what I'm going to be closing out a lot of my calls for. I have to look at, so I'm looking at the calls now. Iron, I'm going to close out 99% profit. SoFi, $25 calls. Like I never thought when I rolled them out in September of this year, I never thought that they'd be up as much as they are. And they're up 78%. 78% is the highest I've ever seen for SoFi calls to be higher or to be profitable here. My Meta 770 calls are up 49%. I'm up like $4,000 on those. NVIDIA 170 calls, I'm up 30%. And then my other Tesla calls, I'm up like 11%, 22%. So all in all, the options side of the ledger is up over 32%. So 32% or just over $22,000 is the current profit. And of the total 46,000 that is actually left of being profitable. So if all of these calls that I'm about to show you expire out of the money, worthless, then the total profit is going to be a little bit over, I think, $60,000, $70,000. So that's where we are. Iron call, I'm going to be closing out. That's 90% up. Meta, this expires at the end of this year. So 49% up. There's still $4,200 left in this option. Netflix 85, I've got to manage this position a little bit because I'm down like 1,300% or just over $1,000 on this. I mean, even if my shares get called away at 85, that's fine. Ideally, I would like to protect this. Expires on March 13th, so not this Friday. Is it this Friday? Like, what is this date? Why does it feel like... Okay, March 13th, next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. Then we got NVIDIA, September 26th, up 30%. There's still $18,000 left on this call. SoFi, as I said, I'm up 77% on this. Never saw this much profit on SoFi calls like these ones. So that's good. There's still $1,800 left. And then I have $12,000 left on Tesla 370 calls that are already up 22%. And then the 360 calls that are up 11%. If Tesla keeps selling off, these calls are going to keep going up. So all in all, I mean, this is exactly why. This is why you hedge your portfolio. This is why you look to sell covered calls, because you can generate premiums. This is all premiums that you can collect while markets are selling off. So up 32%, $22,000 that I can realize. And there's another $46,000 left for these calls. So if all of them expire out of the money, worthless, and I'm able to capitalize on those, I'll be looking at close to 68, 69, just under $70,000 in premiums collected overall for all of these positions. And I haven't even sold calls on Palantir. I haven't even sold calls on Broadcom. Haven't even sold calls on my other NVIDIA shares or my other SoFi shares. So there's a lot more premium that I'm not capitalizing right now. Why? Because I'm only comfortable selling 600 or 1,200 shares of NVIDIA or SoFi respectively. So I'm keeping the other ones for long term. So not trading off of those. But just to give you a bit of an idea why it's so important to look at selling options, right? Because you're able to generate so much premium. You're able to hedge your positions and collect premiums and reinvest those premiums to buying more shares. And so that I think is very, very fruitful in doing. So Moneyvest index, where it's sitting, Moneyvest index right now, as we discussed, is sitting at, let's see, we are looking at 3.18 for the S&P, 3.16 now. And the NASDAQ 100 is sitting at 2.93 last time we checked. Might be a little bit higher. 3.93 is still where we are at uncertainty right now. The lowest levels we've seen this year in 2026. You guys crack me up. Karthik, I'm putting you on the spot. What's the top of your buy list besides real estate? I think it's going to be growth stocks. And at the top, as I said, it's going to be companies like SoFi, Palantir, Broadcom, NVIDIA, advanced micro devices, cybersecurity companies like Palo Alto, CrowdStrike. What else? Amazon is at the top of the list. again, a lot of these companies, the plan really for me, Mercado Libre is coming down 5% today. This is also, I want to build a big position in Mercado Libre. This is at the top. ASML's up there. Robinhood, want to pick up more shares of Robinhood. So yeah, I mean, these are all part of the shopping list, folks. Like, this is where it's being very clear, very honest, shopping this, buy targets, putting money, deploying capital. That's it. Building up positions, not overcomplicating this at all. I'm not here to predict where prices are going, not here to predict where markets are going. I know and understand these businesses. I believe they're high quality. They're down 20, 30, 40, 50% from all-time highs. That's great. If 2026 ends up being a scrap year where the entire market's flat to down and these stocks are down, underperforming, great. Give them to me. Give me time, give me deals. That's all I really want. I'm not on a clock. I'm not looking to beat the S&P every year. I'm happy to dollar cost average and pick up more shares. So yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers your question, Dave. Your personal buy list, which stocks are you plowing money into when it hits your buying level? Just trying to gauge conviction. So those are all the ones that I just mentioned. When to buy and how much, JT. So again, it really depends on your portfolio size, right? So we've got multiple different videos that I recommend everybody watch. So if you come over to stocks and personal finance, this is all included as part of your subscription. So if you do join, I highly recommend this entire collection because there's a lot of videos. These are not, market related. These are more portfolio investing, timeless sort of lessons that you can, watch these videos and learn. So this one right here, this is a video, investing checklist and portfolio rebalancing spreadsheet. So I share my entire spreadsheet. I go over the investing checklist. You can download the Excel file. You can download the PDF. All of this already available. And what this shows you is how to actually go about constructing a portfolio. Because when we talk about portfolio, like JT is asking me, like, how much Melly should I buy, right? When to buy and how much. So when to buy, we've got fair values, we've got support levels, we've got buy targets for a reason. So that's part of the shopping list. How much to buy is going to be completely dependent on your portfolio size. And we always talk in percentage terms. Why do we talk in percentage terms? Because if you tell me I want to buy 5 shares of Melly, great, that's like $10,000, but $10,000 off of what? What's the base, right? What's the total portfolio value? Is it 100,000, so you're putting 10% into Melly, or is it $1 million, you're putting less than 1% into Melly? Or is it $10,000 your entire portfolio, right? You're putting 100% into Melly. So that really dictates where your conviction is, right? It's a huge difference between 1%, 10%, 100%, right? So your conviction is going to dictate how much of a position to build, and that's going to come from the portfolio rebalancing, right? So you put targets, you put target allocations for each company. Let's say that you want to buy 10 stocks and you put 10% target allocation for each company, and then you just go about building your position so you can get up to 10% allocation, and you buy them at the buy targets at the fair values. So that's how I approach this, long-term investing portfolio. So Bilbo, thank you so much for joining. Just join. Can you give your thoughts on SoFi? Already covered SoFi a little bit in detail earlier. Happy to go over that as well again towards the end. But let me just cover a few more questions. And so let's see here. What do you think about CrowdStrike before today's earnings? Yep, CrowdStrike is coming out as well with the earnings, which are going to be very important. I think Palo Alto is also reporting very soon, if I'm not mistaken. So if you come over to earnings calendar, we've got CrowdStrike today at $1.10 per share and 1.3 billion. Broadcom is tomorrow, so Wednesday. And then Palo Alto, I think, is already reported. Let me check. Yeah, I think they might have already gone. Yeah, Palo Alto already reported on Tuesday, February 17th. So double beat there for them. And then, of course, today you've got CrowdStrike. So again, you can kind of take a look at the earnings volatility as well to better understand, 100% beat on EPS over the last 12 quarters, 83% on revenue. Stock moves about 3% plus minus, give or take. That's the price movement, and about 100% beat on EPS from the stock. So, given historical data, I would not be surprised if CrowdStrike beats earnings, beats revenue as well. And stock price wise, again, I don't like to make those predictions, but we are in a little bit of a downtrend right now. So Scoops, we covered the Moneyvest index earlier. We are at over 2.93, lowest level on the NASDAQ 100 since 2026. And the S&P 500 sitting at just over 3.13. So again, uncertainty on the NASDAQ, neutral on the S&P, as volatility is trading well over 27. We are, for the VIX, sitting at 86th percentile right now. So very quickly, we are at 87th percentile. So that's going to be it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate it. This was hopefully like a 30-minute live stream. I hope so. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you all. 36 minutes. Perfect. Yeah, market's pulling back. We'll definitely send out updates and keep you guys posted with everything that's going on, with alerts, with the overall market updates as well. And again, link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining, getting access to the latest shopping list for stocks. ETF is going to be coming out later this week, and the latest updates as well. Thank you so much for your best wishes. I really do appreciate you all. And yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll definitely keep you guys updated with everything. Thank you so much for joining. Happy investing. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all in the next live stream. Take care.